Well, thank you so much for joining me today to learn a little bit about what is Hape. Sometimes it's spelled R-A-P with a little E with a hyphen over it. And it's a sacred tobacco. It's very, very, very fine. And it's not tobacco in the commercial sense. It's grown in a sacred way from the Amazon basin. And several tribes make it. And it's always very, very cultivated in a very ceremonial way. So the tobacco itself is not a traditional tobacco like you would find in the United States where it's sprayed with chemicals or it's a GMO tobacco. This is actually a very sacred tobacco, but it's blended with a wide variety of various sacred plants. So these sacred plants can activate different things in your energy system, in your body, in your being, in your awareness when you take it. So the medicine itself is ground into a very, very fine powder. The ashes of these sacred plants are actually cultivated to utilize in the Hape itself. So you had a question earlier about why you use it. So Hape is utilized for a couple different reasons. It's very different than what it's used for in the actual rainforest from the tribes. But how we use it here in the United States is for something that's more spiritual. So it's like a sacred activation. But since it's tobacco-based, it keeps you very grounded in your body. And so it is a huge opener for the third eye, activating the pineal gland, opening the crown. Some of the blends are very deep heart openers as well. And it's very, very intense. So I know that some of you have wanted to try it. I know that you tried it once. And it was really, it's very shocking at first. I kind of like to think of it like a really intense wasabi. So it's definitely, it brings you right into the present moment. And so as we sit with it, then we become very, very present. It allows a very deep and instantaneous meditation, and it brings us completely into our bodies. So there's a couple different blends, and I want to show you the tools to use for self-application. So there's also several different tools for facilitation. So if I'm going to serve the medicine for you, I would use a tepe, which I don't have my tepe in my personal medicine bag, but my medicine bag here, and this is a tepe, I mean a caripe, and a caripe is an individual serve for your own self. So the short end goes in your mouth, the longer end goes in your nose, and it's actually blown, not breathed in. So it's blown into the nose, either by yourself or for whomever is serving you. So this one, you would place this part in your mouth and this part in your nose, and you do one side at a time. You try to do each side fairly quick, so that way you stay balanced. And so a friend of mine gave me a little tool here, and there's also another tool you can use for scooping the Hape out of your container. So a cuticle tool works really, really well. And so that's always the perfect scoop from one side for each nostril. Also, a friend of mine gave me this little tiny, tiny spoon. And you can order little tiny, tiny spoons, and that gives you the perfect serving. So there's several companies that have very sustainable Hape. You want to make sure that the company you buy it from is sustainable and it's actually from a tribe. So you're actually supporting that and helping that tribe stay active in their sacred land, and the Brazilian government also stays off of their back. So this one is there's a couple different kinds, but this one you can see it's a fine powder, and this one is a little bit more tan. There's some that have a blend that's more earthy and more green. So this one, do you smell that one? This one, I think you like. I think this is this is not the one you tried. It's very intense. This is the one that you tried the other day. Smell that one. So yeah, it's really, it brings you into a never. I think that he will try it again once I get my double tepe and I'm able to serve him both sides at the same time. And so there's another couple blends here that I have. Some are really deep crown openers. Some are very activating for the meditation. So this one I really like. I've been sitting with, and so you can see there. Some of them are different colors because they have different plants in them. Yes or no? Here, smell it. And over here, oh my gosh. So my husband is really messing with me while I film this, and he's not being super participatory, but he's here present for the questions. So did you have any questions about Hape benefits? I think you were asking about, or you would ask something already.
That's why.
Oh, why do you utilize Hape? Okay, so that is a common question. A lot of people utilize Hape to facilitate and serve to open the space before ceremony. In a ceremonial setting, it creates that kind of a gateway. So tobacco is a great teacher plant, especially the sacred tobacco that is cultivated from the rainforest and the Amazon basin. And so this plant is it allows the other plants to do the work, or it also connects to the frog tribe in the ceremony of Kambo. So it really helps us to have that open space and get very, very present in our body before we go into ceremony. So that is kind of a synopsis of Hape. Do you have any other questions about it? I've been sitting with it for months now as a commitment to really get a deep understanding of the sacred plant spirits. And it has helped me in so many ways to simply connect to the trees, connect to the flowers, and to connect to all the different sacred herbs, to awaken to the great teachings that the plant nation has for us, and to realize that we are simply just we're just simply facilitators for this medicine. The great teachings come from the plants. They're super, super old and super, super wise. And so we can sit with their medicine and tap in and learn. And so I continue to do this practice. It's a commitment. It's intense. It's not for everybody. But if you're interested and want to learn more, just send me a message, or you can book a session. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.